This short video is a pictorial guide to catching the Royal Caribbean bus transfer from Tronchetto in Venice to Ravenna port. We did this process in July 2025 and there were several things I wish we'd known in advance. So I hope watching this video gives you a few tips and tricks and makes the process smoother and easier for you and your family. Tronchetto is one of the transport hubs in Venice, which brings together water transport and road transport. Tronchetto is located on the western edge of Venice and gives access to the Liberty Bridge which connects the island to the mainland. Depending where you are in Venice, you can arrive in Tronchetto by taxi, by bus, by water bus or by water taxi. If you're arriving by water taxi, you'll get dropped off at one of the piers in this area here. Be aware that in the morning this can be quite busy and your boat may be backed up for a few minutes before it can land. If you're catching the public water bus, the Vaporetto, you'll be using line number 2. There are 2 stops at Tronchetto and you want to get off at Tronchetto Mercato, marked here in green. And just to show this in close-up, it's not the end of the world if you get off at the other stop, but it's just a longer walk. And although most people won't be using this option, if you do come by road taxi, this is where you'll be dropped off. And this white cross marks the spot that you're basically aiming for, because this is where the staff from Tronchetto, who coordinate the bus transfers on behalf of Royal Caribbean, will be located. So ultimately, regardless of the way you arrive into Tronchetto, this is where you want to be heading towards. In general, it's only a few minutes walk from each of the drop-off points. As you're walking towards this area, your attention might be drawn by buses in this area here, but these are not the buses to the boat, so don't congregate or queue around this area. For reference, this is the actual area where the buses to the boat go from, because there are lots and lots of buses, but don't queue up here either. So once you arrive in the area of the white cross, you'll see that 2 queues will be formed in the direction and position of the arrows shown on this diagram. Join the end of one of these queues, because they ultimately will lead towards the Tronchetto staff, who are positioned with their clipboards ready to check people off before they direct you to a bus. Once your name has been ticked off by a member of the Tronchetto staff at the front of one of these queues, you will be directed this way to a waiting bus where your luggage will be loaded. To give you an idea of timings, we were booked on the 9 o'clock transfer. We arrived at Tronchetto at about 8 o'clock and there were already about 45 people queuing. They started organising the queue and taking names at about 8:15 and we actually left at 8:35. So if you're on the 11 o'clock transfer, you can just adjust the times accordingly. One thing to note is if you are on the 11 o'clock transfer, don't turn up at 9 o'clock because you won't be able to get a bus at that time. Just a few notes about the bus itself. They're generally modern, spacious and air conditioned, but there's limited overhead luggage space. This is okay for small or soft bags, but really not big enough for a standard wheeled hand luggage case that you might take on an aeroplane. And the bus is likely to be pretty full, so you won't be able to position it in the aisle for safety reasons, and there's unlikely to be space under the seat in front of you either. So it's better to place any of these larger hand luggage bags into the main luggage compartment on the bus. You'll still be able to collect them on arrival in Ravenna and take them on as hand luggage once you arrive in the port. Your main luggage bags, once you've checked them in, will be taken directly onto the ship and will be delivered to your stateroom. The bus stops about halfway for a comfort break. There is toilets and food, drink, souvenirs available. And the toilets cost 50 cents per person. You'll need a coin. There is an attendant who can supply change, and the queues can get quite large if several buses arrive all together. In total, the transfer takes about 3 hours. There can be delays in the height of summer or with roadworks, but if you plan for about 3.5 hours, that should be pretty accurate. So just to show a couple of examples of bags that will fit in the overhead space and bags that won't. One final tip that we found very useful was to purchase a set of luggage tags like these from Amazon. They're very cheap and they allow you to slide in the tags that Royal Caribbean provide. You can then place these onto your luggage and make sure you place them on the top of your bags, not the sides, because this is the way the porters tend to transport the bags. And you can use the same tags when you leave the ship, putting the exit tags in the same place, so they're clearly marked and clearly visible to you as well. So I hope you found this short video useful for your planning when you're going on your cruise from Venice. We certainly had a great cruise, with Santorini being one of the highlights, and hope you have a great trip too. There's no need to subscribe to my channel for once, but if you did find the video useful, please tick the like button just so I know. Thanks and have a great cruise.